circulated, which I believe all the members have. I have started by articulating the role of the control of budget as per the Constitution. These roles, Honorable Chair, I don't think I'll run through all of them. I mean, I'll just mention them so that I can go to the crux of the matter, which is the budgets of Nyamira County Assembly. So the control of budget has an oversight role, which is to oversee the implementation of the national and county government budgets as per Article 2284 of the Constitution. This role involves monitoring the use of public funds and reporting to Parliament on utilization. I'll also do B, which is the controlling role, where the control of budget authorizes withdrawals from public funds, namely the Consolidated Fund under Article 206, the County Revenue Fund under Article 207, and the Equalization Fund under Article 204. Now, in authorizing the withdrawals, the COB must be satisfied that the withdrawals are in accordance with the law and permitted as stipulated under Article 228 of the Constitution. I'll skip the reporting role, the advisory role, and the investigation role. But I'll go to F, which is the dispute resolution role, because it will be important in this. Undertaking alternative dispute resolution, namely reconciliation, mediation, and negotiation to resolve conflicts and issues relating to budget implementation between national and county governments or between county governments themselves. There are other roles, the public sensitization. There is also the monitoring role and the enforcement of budgetary ceilings, which is also very important. Now, this report is in response to the invitation that the chair has highlighted, which was referent SEN/DGAG/DEVIR of 2025/059, dated 2nd of April 2025, from the Office of the Clerk of the Senate, communicating the concern of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on the reported long-running dispute in the County Assembly of Nyamira that has allegedly split the Assembly into two factions. The committee resolved to intervene in the matter and has consequently invited the Controller of Budget to this meeting. I'll skip to the next area, Honorable Chair, and take you through the Nyamira County budget for financial year 2024-25. The original budget for Nyamira County for financial year 24-25 totals 7.54 billion, comprising 2.28 billion, which is 30%, allocated for development programs, and 5.26 billion, which is 70% for recurrent programs. And I have given a summary of the figures that make up that budget. But more importantly is to highlight that the vellum for this budget was signed by His Excellency Governor Amos Kimomi Nyaribo, and the Clerk of the Assembly, Duke Onyari, and the Speaker, Honorable Enoch Okero, on the 2nd of July 2024, and I have given an annex to the report, Annex 1. Now, the County Executive Committee member for Finance then was Dr. Geoffrey Margaret Nyakang'o, who signed the forwarding letter on the 2nd of August 2024, and that is given in Annex 2. So the County Appropriation Act was assented to on the 26th of July 2024 and printed on 29th of July 2024. That is at the government press. After this budget, which we continued using as per my constitutional mandate, Nyamira submitted their first supplementary budget for 2024-25. This first supplementary budget was submitted on the 26th of November 2024 and gazetted on 27th November 2024. So it was passed on 26th November and gazetted on 27th November. This supplementary budget amounted to 8.1 billion, comprising of 5.23 billion for recurrent and 2.87 billion for development expenditure, respectively. And I have provided a table showing how we arrive at the total of 8.102. I need to point out that that figure includes the county assembly figures, and they can be verified. Now, this was submitted by the county executive member for finance, Dr. Geoffrey Morara Nyakoe, on the 28th of November 2024. The vellum was signed by Governor Amos Kimomi Nyaribo. The Speaker of the Assembly was Honorable Enoch Okero, and the acting clerk was Mr. Silvanus Ndemo Nyamira, as per the documents that were submitted to my office. These are on Annex 3. The Nyamira County Supplementary Appropriation Act 2025 was assented to, as earlier intimated, on the 26th of November and printed on the 27th of November 2024. Details are on Annex 4. Changes after the passage of the supplementary budget. We observed that the budget estimates had been increased by 7.4% from the 7.54 billion in the original approved budget to 8.1 billion in the first supplementary budget. This increase was attributable to the inclusion of unspent balances of conditional grants from the previous year, amounting to Kenya shillings 399.97 million, and on-source revenue, which was revised upwards by 50 million Kenya shillings. I have summarized this in Table 3 to show where the increases were brought in, but I will not go through the figures. The next item I would like to touch on is the exchequer issues. Exchequer issues arise from requisitions from the county. As of 31st March 2025, the total exchequer issues to Nyamira County amounted to 3.53 billion, representing 44% of the approved budget. The exchequer issued comprised 2.92 billion for recurrent expenditures and 615.89 million for development expenditures, and I have given a breakdown in that table to show how we arrive at the 44%. Now, if I zoom in to the disbursements to the County Assembly of Nyamira, the approved budget for the County Assembly of Nyamira amounts to 797.76 million, comprising of Kenya shillings 699.76 million for recurrent expenditures and 98 million for development expenditures. Exchequers issued to the County Assembly as of 31st March 2025 amounted to Kenya shillings 294.49 million, translating to 37% of the approved budget of the County Assembly. The Exchequer releases comprised 263.87 million for recurrent expenditures and 30.62 million for development expenditures, as summarized in Table 4. Honorable Chair, I have given the 13 exchequers paid, rather given to the Assembly, and we can see that they are mostly for salaries, although a few were for operations and maintenance and a recurrent. Then there were also one payment for pending bills for development. So the total is 294,488. I'll come back to that later when we see how the requisitions reach the County Assembly. Now, through a letter by Duke Onyari dated 31st October 2024, my office was informed of leadership disputes on the office of the Speaker and the Clerk. Through another letter dated 8th of November 2024, Honorable Enoch Okero wrote to the Control of Budget, notifying us that Duke Onyari had been suspended on disciplinary grounds. In a response to these two letters, my office wrote to the acting clerk, Duke Onyari, on the 10th of December 2024, requesting him to clarify the leadership structure in compliance with court orders and confirming the validity of the appointments of the board members. In an analysis that we did in my office, we discovered the following: that on 8th of October, Honorable Enoch Okero was suspended as Speaker of the County Assembly. He later filed a court case challenging his suspension under HCC HR PET/E008/2024, and that there is a court order that was issued on the 11th of October 2024 barring any interference with his role as a Speaker. On the 16th of October, the County Assembly proceeded with an impeachment vote, removing Honorable Okero from office. Now, Gazette Notice number 14050 of 24th October 2024 confirmed the impeachment of Honorable Okero, while Gazette Notice number 13376 indicated the appointment of a new County Assembly Service Board members. The Assembly, through its acting clerk, issued Gazette Notice number 14230 of 26th October, appointing Mr. Silvanus Ndemo Nyamira as the acting clerk. Meanwhile, Mr. Duke Onyari, who was removed from office, maintained that he was the legitimate clerk. Honorable Chair, we kept receiving conflicting information. One letter would tell us this, another letter negates what we had received before. Now, so there were legal challenges and pending court cases. We realized that several court cases had been filed regarding the legitimacy of the appointments and the leadership disputes as outlined. Now, there was, I don't want to go into the cases because really that is not what I'm here to say. What steps have we taken to ensure the matter is resolved? That is the question that was asked from the Senate. And as I have indicated, this office did seek clarification